Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
And it is a good day. Whew, what a good day. What a fantastically great fucking day. I'm slightly happy. And about a year and a half of hard work finally coming into culmination, a year and a half of keeping my mouth shut. I don't have to anymore. Whew, today's the day. I'll be making an announcement later as to what's going on. But know this. The bullies have been taken care of in Colorado for, well, one part. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. I create recovery equity, and if you're a bully and want to come in and fuck around, you're going to have to deal with me, period. That's the way it is. Okay? Somebody who's even my competition the other day was keeping somebody's $975 for a class, right? And they should have been refunding. So they called him up and said, hey, you know what? Dion said give the money back, and they gave the money back. Do not fuck around here. Don't do it, man. Then I will be praying for you, Carrie. Good morning, and good to see you. So yes. And this very much fits into being a part of a whole and being a person that allows other people to come into your life without you needing something from them, like their Medicaid number. Stay away from the any fucking A meetings. They are a trap for the hornbuckles for you to, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. I shouldn't even have said that. That's for later. I gotta stay in balance. This is the daily reflection, and I can't get into that. So, yeah. So, and this goes with it, but what I'm gonna do. Okay, this is where I can be an example. All right, I'm very excited about this. Right, probably a little too excited. So I'm gonna step back. And I'm gonna step back in front of everybody. So that today you guys can see what it's like when you're excited, how you can back off, and because otherwise, you can already tell how I'm talking, right? My brain's obviously going faster than my mouth, right? Well, that isn't necessarily a good sign. I know everybody is glad that I'm happy, but so I'm going to step back in front of you guys. All right, that's how I'm gonna do it. Hey, God. All right, it's his now. Till I take it back in 30 seconds. Let's get straight to the daily reflection. Carrie's saying it's good. I just read the top line. And it's all actually called I'm Part of the Whole. At once I became a part, if only a tiny part, of a cosmos, as Bill sees it, 225. Dancing in the streets. We'll be dancing Chicago. See, I'm going to have to God. The answer is in the mirror. Man, what a dick. What a dick. Yeah, it is an adrenaline rush. I will calm down. I'm already starting to now. Because what will happen is then by noon, I'll be ready for a nap. So, while drinking, we were certain that our intelligence, backed by willpower, could rightly control our inner lives. and guarantee us success in the world around us. So we thought if we could just push hard enough and control enough and do enough that we would guarantee our success. I could never find that. I could never ever find it. I could see other people doing it, but I couldn't find it. This brave philosophy wherein each man played God sounded good in the speaking, but it still had to meet the acid test. How well did it actually work? One good look in the mirror was enough, was answer enough. My spiritual awakening was electrically sudden and absolutely convincing. At once, I became a part of, if only a tiny part, of the cosmos that was ruled by justice and love in the person of God. And so we're becoming something, we are becoming a part of a whole, and we're important in that part. Okay? It seems really small, but it is an important job, or God wouldn't have you doing it. Okay? We are in the business of saving lives. Okay? That is why I push so hard. I take this program very fucking seriously. I take it very seriously. I do not take me very seriously. That's what I'm usually laughing about with, you know. But otherwise, I'm just a small cog in a big machine. I don't like putting it that way. I don't. I'd rather go with the small speck of dust in the cosmos. I'm more of a cosmos guy than I'm a machine dude. No matter what had been the consequences of my own willfulness and arrogance, ignorance, or those of my fellow travelers on this earth, this was still the truth. Such was the new and positive assurance, and this has never left me. So no matter what had been the consequences of my willfulness and ignorance, or those, it was still the truth. Okay. Sometimes I have to read it twice to make sure I got it. When I first came to AA, I decided that they were very nice people, perhaps a little naive, a little too friendly, but basically decent, earnest people with whom I had nothing in common. I saw them, it's got quotes behind it, them, at meetings. After all, that was where they existed. I shook hands with them, and then when I went out the door, I forgot about them. Yes. The what the fuck do I do now that I'm not in a meeting? That can be kind of scary when I still go through it. I'll be done with my meeting, my Zoom meeting, and I'll be like, now what? What do I do now? And I'll get confused on what I need to do. Right? Thankfully, I have a fairly good fellowship of people that I can reach out to. Got a couple different phone lists, So if I'm getting too uppity at home, maybe last Saturday I needed somebody to talk to. I had what do you call them? I had an anxiety attack, not a full blown one, or I would have went to a hospital. I didn't have a full blown one, but and I ended up calling and talking to. I sent out several messages. And ended up talking to a friend and it was the right person that I needed to speak with. Okay. Again, just another person that is a part of a whole. Okay. There's comfort in there because then you start to trust these people. You start to get to know these people. So, and then you realize, man, I bet this person would treat me exactly the same if I wasn't around. Those are the types of friends that I keep. Okay. Hey, Gary, good to see you, dude. I shook hands with them. Okay. Then one day, my higher power, whom I did not then believe in, arranged to create a community project outside of AA, but one which happened to be involved many AA members. We worked together, got to know them as people, and came to admire them, even to like them, and in spite of myself, even enjoy them. All right, there's a secret to this. Come early, stay late. Okay? I do that with Zoom meetings too. What is wrong with you people showing up at noon, leaving at 1 during the Zoom meetings? There's a meeting before, there's a meeting after. Stick around for it, even though it's confusing and everybody's talking at once. It can be fun. After the meeting, usually the host will stick around because if the host leaves, then it boots everybody. Okay? When I host, I stick around, and if people want to yak, I'll sit there and I yak with them. It's part of service work. It's part of feeling that connection, right? Hey, we're going to coffee after. Go. Well, I wasn't invited. You're kind of already invited. It's just somebody, I'm telling you right now, somebody forgot to ask. But trust me, you are more than welcome to go with them, right? If you feel like you just absolutely can't, then that's okay too. Then maybe it is a clique that you don't need to be in. Listen to that intuition. Listen to that intuition. Because it's right. It's right. Hey? And what sucks is you'll have that intuition and your brain will change its mind. I see it happen all the time. And that usually comes out of our need of having to appease other people. Even when we don't feel like they need to. Oh, but you need to. The grass is greener over here. Don't you understand? We have all this, and we also need your help. Maybe you need to back off on what you're doing and focus on what you got. That might be, remember foundation, what our foundation is all about. When in confusion, go to basics. When in doubt, go back to basics. When you're having a bad fucking day, go back to basics. There's comfort there. You know it. That isn't a step backwards. Your foundation may need a little bit of work. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? That means you're practicing steps 10, 11, and 12. Practicing steps 10, 11, and 12 is about working on your foundation. They're maintenance steps. Yep. Your gut feeling is almost always on point. It is. And if you have some time in the program and you've done the work and sanity has returned, your intuition is correct. We worked together. I got to know them as people. I came to admire them, even to like them. And in spite of myself, enjoy them. The practice of the program in their daily lives, not just talk in meetings, attracted me, and I wanted what they had. Suddenly they had become we, and I have not had a drink since. Why do they always end it with that? Okay, you haven't had a drink since, but you didn't. Okay. So get to know people. It's scary. I'm not saying it's easy. Okay. But I guarantee you, when you were a newcomer, there were a bunch of people that said, here's my number, here's my number, here's my number. Call them. Get to know them. I'm working with a guy right now, and we're getting to it. We're working on his 4th step, but first, we got to know each other first. I told him, we're going to be doing some serious work. You're going to tell me some things that you may not tell anybody else. So let's make sure that you're okay with me being your sponsor first. And he's still okay with it, sucker. I'm excited about that too. I've never had a sponsee stick around till the 4th step. I'm proud of him. Okay? I'm not. Yeah. You guys think I'm an easy sponsor? I yelled at him for not going to a meeting. Oh, sometimes I hit 2 on no, dude, that wasn't the deal. The deal is you go to a meeting every day, period. I don't want to hear anything else. Okay. Because and I was talking to my friend Chris, and you guys see Chris on here all the time, and we were kind of talking about old AA yesterday, and it used to be a lot different. If you had a week and you tried to speak, this is what you would get. You need to shut the fuck up. That's what they would tell you, and that's how they would tell you. You didn't get to say anything until you had 30 days. Okay. So it was a little bit rougher, and I think we needed it then. But times are changing, man. Okay. We're not so rough anymore. We're a little bit, we're not, but we're not at a point where we sit there and pat you on the head and tell you everything's okay, because it's not. Okay. So we're not going to put you down that way. No. We say the same thing. We just say it a little bit nicer now. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. There isn't. Because but there are still some people that I meet that need to hear it that way. There's some men that need to hear it that way. I had to hear it that way when I got back in. Sometimes us men need a swift kick in the ass. And we work a little different that way. Men will actually have respect for a guy that comes up and gets in his face to tell him his business. Right? But we're not allowed to do so. There's some things that are changing in AA, and I think it's for the better. I do. But it is killing men's recovery, because we're moving into an emotional sobriety type of thing, which it's all emotional sobriety. By the way, to me it is anyway. That scares the fuck out of men. It happens all the time. You want to see me clear a room? I'll start sharing my feelings. You want? Watch. I can go to an AA meeting, start sharing my feelings. I'll clear people out. They talk about intimacy or something. You guys know I'm fucking. There's, nobody has. People don't have that kind of power, but you get what I'm saying, right? Hey, it's time to wake up. Huh. Okay, Carrie. I'll call you after this. Holy crap, we're at 18 minutes. That was the other thing I decided that I was just going to do this however, because I noticed that sometimes, like I noticed sometimes Jackie would get on, maybe like 5 minutes a little bit late, or, some of the people. So what I'm doing is I'm circling back around to what I was talking in the beginning, kind of a thing, so that everybody gets the whole thing. And I also don't care about time anymore. So how are you feeling with that? How do you feel when you ask yourself that you're one person in a group of people that helps other people? Are you cool with that? Okay. I myself just put together a dream team. This is a group of 4 other people that I trust. Okay. I've been through a lot of shit with every single one of these people. That's why I trust them, because we sat down and had conversations. Adult conversations. And you know what it did? I know what it did. It brought us closer together. Right? See, Owen, good to see you, dude. Good to see you, dude. Yeah. Shape those relationships. Get to know people, utilize your intuition. See, but sometimes people are like, "Yeah, I didn't think you would talk to me." I used my intuition. I know better. And it's happened to me too, where I've made the wrong move and I've come back and I'm like, and they were like, "Yeah, it's all right." But it's how things work, man. That's why it's tricky. That's why we need to talk about it all the time. That's why we need to cover it, because each situation is kind of a little different. So, all right, guys, that's what I got. And yeah, great stuff. All right, guys, I love you. Peace out. And